Hey, what's up, my Patreons? Welcome to TJ's Lego Room, and today I'm going to show you building instructions. What it takes to actually make instructions for TJ's Lego Room. And I must say, it is a doozy. Sorry, I'm just looking at making sure everything's recording. Yeah, everything looks good. The little counter is going off. I also needed to make sure that I had enough room. Sometimes it'll actually tell me how much space is left on the storage place that I'm using. It should be a ton because I just cleaned it out like last week. So, all right, now this is just for the Patreons. So welcome. Hope you're having a great day. We're going to be talking about instructions, and right now you should see the instructions we're working on. In all fairness, this is actually the second time I've tried this because the capture screen was not working before. I had forgotten, this is OBS. You can use it to screen capture. And on the right is what it's recording, and on the left is what I can set up to record. So you can do a very professional, get it set up, and then transition into it later. Unfortunately, I messed that up and didn't actually transition it, so I recorded a half hour of black screen. No! Oh, but that's not what we're doing today. Today, we are going to be looking at this beauty right here, the Bizarro. So that's in its landed form. Here it is in its physical form. And it's now in its physical landed form. Woohoo. Very fun. But it has a landing field on here, and that's actually what I did for the first 30-minute video that I had to trash, is I built the landing platform, which was about 90 pieces and took me half an hour. So let's see how long this, how big these pieces, how many pieces are on this one, how big this model is. Model info, 744 parts. So by the transitive property, this should only take like 3 hours, right? No, it's 10 times half an hour, which is 5 hours. Okay, we're not going to spend that long in here, but hopefully we'll be able to learn some things about what it takes to build an instruction book in TJ's Lego Room. All right, so as you can see on the screen right now, there's 744 parts, and the total price to build this is about $68. I usually find that this is a little bit on the high end of things. Also, there's one piece in particular that is the most expensive piece in here. Yeah. They say it's $37 for that one piece. I'm sorry. I know it's a rare piece, but I really think it looks better than any other pieces. So hopefully you have it. If you don't have it, I'm sorry. You're going to have to figure something else out. It just looks so good with that one piece on there, and I had one, so that's what happened. Yeah, I know it's frustrating. Hopefully they put out another clone turbo tank and put another one of those pieces in it. So here we have our digital build fully done. There's only one point where it seems to have an issue, and it's right there. It says the clip doesn't line up. But on my existing physical model, it lines up really well. I'm not entirely sure why it's saying it's having a problem in the digital realm, but oh well, we're gonna force it through on the instructions, just because I know it works in physicality, so I'm not sure why digitally it seems to struggle. All right, so first thing we do is after you've got your digital build, and I'm not going to show you how to do that today, we're going to click up here on the instruction section, and the instructions pull up automatically into like a digital rendering build for some reason. So all 744 parts into that. I don't know if I mentioned, this is my favorite view of the Bizarro. My goodness, it's just gorgeous. I imagine sitting there in an Imperial hangar and seeing this thing and being like, now that is a wicked looking ship. All right, so we're actually going to go to page design on this. Woohoo! And we need to change the step view. So we're going to rotate, flip, rotate again. Because it was still going the right direction. We just wanted it to go like that. Unfortunately, in order to do that, you have to rotate, flip, then rotate back. It's like doing a Rubik's Cube when you're trying to figure it out. All right, so we start off here. So you guys are actually going to get a sneak preview of the actual physical instructions. We're probably only going to get maybe 30 pages in. Be my guess. Would be my guess. Be my guest. A couple things we'll start with. I do now have a watermark that goes in the back. So we'll just click on here, click image, choose image, scroll all the way down in Lego videos, and we use the most recent watermark, version 1, parentheses 5. So it's actually the 5th version. And we can very faintly see it in the background now. It's not enough to distract really. If you go back further, if I step back further, I can see it a little bit better. But when you're up looking at it and you're focused, I don't think it's that bad. You let me know if you think otherwise. By the way, thank you to the patrons who were able to download that and let me know what you thought. You had the input on the final say. So, all right. So then we go to step 2. And we are just going to try to line that up with the previous one. You can see it kind of has a shadow that shows up behind it right when I get to this point. And that's so you can actually line it up perfectly if you so desire. It's looking good right here. That instruction's pretty clear. This is one where I think we're going to have to flip it. So we're going to flip that up, show that. I'm going to insert the flip icon so that people know that they need to flip it up. And then we're going to flip it right back down in the very next step. So we will need to add another flip icon. It's looking good. Now the computer might slow down because it doesn't like running the microphone, the instructions program, and OBS, which is the capture card, which, by the way, I'm going to check and make sure it's working. It is working! Woohoo! And if you look, it's got an infinite loop there. That's pretty cool. Whoop. It's kind of fun. Kind of fun to play with. All right, so now that one looks pretty good. Yeah, no reason to move that. These are actually going pretty well. The stand actually had some really large pieces that didn't quite work the way I wanted them to. And those should tie onto the 3x3 plates. So they're solid. Solid connections. Perfect. Looking good. Okay. Hopefully we'll get to a point where I can show you some of the call-outs. A call-out is where you'll see a mini build in its own box, and then it'll tell you where to put that mini build involved in the rest of it. But I think the main opening of this is pretty straightforward, if I remember correctly. So you can see where if I put it right there, yeah, that works. Put it right on the shadow. Yeah, that's looking fine. Let's see. This is one of those that it's got a lot of parts on it. So you got 10 pieces that you got to put on all at the same time. And don't mess up those pieces because it'll mess you up. All right. And while I think I was originally trying to say, am I giving things away to people for free by doing this video for the patrons? Kind of, but at the same time, I think a lot of you would end up purchasing the instructions because for the $6 and up tier, you get the instructions for free. Or for $1, sorry. For $1 because freaking Rubricable won't let me do it for free. I'm still actually trying to figure out a way to give you free instructions, whether that be through a PDF that I email to you or send you like a Google Drive link. It's an idea, but the only problem is that I would want them to just be free instructions, not the paid ones from Rubricable, just to make sure I don't cause any problems for myself. And if I sent out free instructions on Patreon, as the Patreon gets bigger, we might end up getting some less than honest people. Speaking of less than honest people, oh my goodness, I got a comment on my YouTube channel. This is going to be great. I'm going to share this tomorrow in the video, or Saturday in the video. But holy cow, my TIE Wrath bomber got stolen by Lepin. Like the Lepin. How cool is that, right? I'm like an official Lego designer now. My designs are being stolen by Chinese companies. That's so amazing. I've noticed there were a few people in China that bought my instructions recently, and I wondered if one of them was going to be Lepin or an off-brand seller or something. I know I probably shouldn't think that, but meh, it's what it is. Some people just don't know how to be decent. I actually did send them a message saying, you can't have my stuff. But we'll see. We'll see if they do. They won't do anything. They don't care. They don't care who I am. They don't know who I am. Even though they try to make their money off of me. My only problem is, like, China's a huge market. And, like, I was getting a lot of traffic from China for a few minutes, and suddenly it stopped. So anybody who thinks that they're not hurting anybody, they really are. All that momentum that I had built up for that just didn't work. So now somebody else gets all the monies. It's not all about money, though. It should be, but it's not. I'm just teasing. I hope you guys know that. Not only that, but again, this is the second time I've tried to show stuff on here. My goodness. It's just crazy, guys. It's just... when you do a half-hour video and then it... it just totally cracks out on you. It's like, no, please. It feels like Friday night all over again. And honestly, almost every Friday night, I go through this very similar process where I am struggling to get the video made. It's just what I do. Something weird that's happening right now. Excuse me. These tiles are starting tipped up, which I normally would fix and put it flat again, except that the next step I would have to flip it up anyway. So I'm like, we'll just hold it like this and put the pieces on. It's cool. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. All right. We're looking good here. I could do these as a call out, but I think it's too many steps. If I were to do anything to shorten the PDF length on this one, it would be to do the column build, which you have the option to do that on the layout up here. You can turn it into 2 steps per page, vertically or horizontally, and then 3 steps vertically, which is kind of cool. But we're not gonna do that. There's no need. All right, and then we're gonna change the step view here. For some reason, it's flipping them back and forth, and I'm not 100% sure why that's happening. I'm sure it has something to do with the orientation of the ship being a vertical dealio. I'm trying to find the center here, because the problem is it really doesn't want to move it any further. So what we have to do is we have to find... Oh, there it is. There's the center. So if you find the center, sometimes it'll let you cheat it. Perfect. Look at that, guys. So we were able to cheat the instructions back into place, which is fantastic. All right. Oh, awesome. And then we're on the back, ready to do this. This is great. You know what, though? After that, I think I'm going to flip it back to the front. Because while I built this, while I build anything now, I keep in mind which direction I'm building from for the instructions. So since I'm building in this view right here, I built the craft digitally from the back to the front as we stacked up. So you'll see that it starts at the back and fills in forward, starts at the back and fills in forward, starts in the back and fills in forward. And that's so that I don't have to keep doing flip icons and stuff constantly and making it work. So there we go. We got those. Look, it's not centered. There we go. There we go. That feels better. So as you can see, it's got that little shadow in the back, and we're just gonna keep lining that up until it no longer works. As a matter of fact, that's getting a little crowded, so we're gonna lower it just a smidge. Well, congratulations, guys. We are rocking this. We are already many more steps in than we did on the first try for the video. We're already on step 31, which is pretty good. We've almost got the first half of the ship done. So you sneaky little guys out there, you could actually almost build it. But luckily, I don't have any of the mechanism in here, so you're still going to have to give me that $1. Speaking of which, that should be going out tomorrow night. I just got notification from my bank that the Patreon subscriptions went through and that they're depositing the money today or tomorrow. So I'll be able to get those things out tomorrow to you guys. I haven't noticed if any of them have already worked for you or if you guys have redeemed those coupons yet. Check your emails. They should be in there. So if you haven't gotten it, message me directly and I will get you your code. Each code actually is specific because it's a one-time use. So at least I think it is. I think that's how I did it. I don't think I did a blanket code for everybody. I think it was just I think it was specific to you. All right, we are looking good. All right, so here, we're going to do a call out. So for all of you who wondered what the heck a call out was, flip. Perfect. All right, so we're going to click on that top piece and we're going to activate the buffer exchange and we're going to lift it off with those arrows. And it lifts it a certain amount up. The preset in StudIO is the number 40. For whatever reason that is, I don't know. But I guess this is 40 units, 40 girth units above the other piece on the y-axis. Another thing that I was doing on the last video that I did multiple times is I usually go for green on my arrows. It's a little bit easier to see because I don't use a lot of green. I usually try to use a color that's not in the actual set for my my instruction. So then we push convert to call out and it will give us the little, there we go, look at that. All right, now we just need to change this step view, which unfortunately, like I said, we just want to lay it down like that, but there's not a button for that. So we have to rotate it that direction. And when you're rotating with the arrows, you want to imagine that you're holding it in front of you and have a little stick control on a base. So if I turn it that way, I'm not trying to see that direction. I'm actually pushing it that direction. So if I'm pushing it to the right, I'm moving it to the right. If I'm pushing to the left, I'm pushing it to the left. Okay? Super easy. Barely an inconvenience? I thought so. So we rotate it to the left, flip it, and then rotate it back to the right. Then we just need to readjust it. See, these are the parts where it has a hard time is the callouts. When I was doing the video for the stand, man, it was oof. It was rough. I had to be waiting for several seconds each time. And it looks like it's not going to change very much here either. So we wait for it to grab the arrow. Perfect. And we're actually going to offset it just a little bit so we can access this arrow. Because if we're not careful, the arrows will merge. And we won't be able to access the one underneath the other. So, well, we've got a hold of one. Take it out. Excellent. We're going to click on the arrows, scroll down, and automatically they come with a V end on the call-out arrows. I just switch them back to the regular solid triangles. Just aesthetically, I like them better. All right. Oh, ooh, guys, guess what? We are almost all the way through the top half of the ship. And by the top half, I know it's a side to side. This is the cockpit half, which when I was building was the top half. And it's also the side that the studs will face up on the wings. So there you go. And there we go. I think we're going to go ahead and stop there. Things are looking really good. We're moving forward. 34 pages out of 281 because we made a call out of that one page. So we gradually, normally it'll start off at a really high number, and then as I go through, it'll gradually get whittled down when I do call outs or fix issues that have happened. Sometimes the number goes up. I anticipate that this thing will probably be around 290 when I'm done, but if I can, I'm going to try to get it down to 280 on the instructions, including renders and pictures that I take at the end, as well as the title page, the cover sheet for the instructions. So anyway, that's what's going on. My Thai Wrath got stolen by Lepin. The rest of the world is on fire. I'm doing the remodel, and I hope next week I'll be able to start my next mock, because it doesn't look like I'm going to have many chances right now. Oh, I'm getting tired, that's for sure. But nonetheless, thank you, all my patrons out there. You guys are amazing, all three of you. I know it doesn't sound like much, but I honestly put just as much work into doing the Patreon stuff as I do with my regular videos. So I hope you guys appreciate that, especially this time since I basically did 2 videos for you, even though you're only getting 1. That actually happens more often than not. I usually spend multiple hours getting ready for live streams, getting ready for even the weekly videos on my channel. And I'm going to try to make it worth it by adding more and more things for you guys to do here on Patreon. Speaking of which, I finally figured out Discord on my phone. I got it so that it now alerts me every time somebody posts. Only one of the 3 of you is on Discord right now, but if you want to join in, we had a really good discussion about a mock that the one guy, for some reason the name isn't in my head right now. I want to say like Gojira, but I know that's probably not accurate. I apologize. But he was having some issues, wanted to figure out how to do a mock. And so throughout the day yesterday, I would message him back talking about different ideas and what we could do. So if you guys want to join in the conversation or just say hi, that's where you can find me. And that is exclusive just to my patrons. So if all of my patrons join the Discord, it means there will be 4 people in it, including me. So you guys are welcome to come by and hang out and contact me directly through that. I'm really totally cool with doing that. So thank you again so much. And until we see you next time in TJ's Patreon room, play well. Bye. And end. Push the button. It's not activating. I don't want to push it too hard and knock it